So I'm seeing a lot of posts of lefties, again, it's always the lefties, saying that the guy that jumped and out from behind the car and took the gun from one of the terrorists today was a Muslim. Go Muslims. He took the gun from a Muslim. Okay? Now, usually, I wouldn't bring to light that kind of thing. I wouldn't sort of make a big deal out of that. But when it's Muslims, you have to, because there's so many documented instances of their terrorism that they are a problem. And you know they're a problem. You just don't want to admit that they're a problem. So I can't believe it today. People saying, "Oh, well, if immigration wasn't in place, then he wouldn't have been there to save all those people." But if he wasn't there, then those Muslim terrorists wouldn't have been there either. So nothing would have happened. There'd be nothing on the news today. The Jews would have gone to the beach, celebrated Hanukkah, and that would have been it. But no, the Muslims have to go and put their fucking nose in, don't they? It honestly, having this trail of thought is no different to somebody coming up to you, robbing you and taking all of your money, and then coming back to you half an hour later and giving you £50 back of your money that they've robbed from you, and you going, "Oh, he's a brilliant bloke. Brilliant, nice one. Really nice bloke." You're fucking idiots. So let's remind people of all the atrocities in the West, and let's not forget that Muslims make up a very small minority of the West. But let's go through some of their attacks, shall we? We've got the Nice attacks was Muslim, the Paris attacks were Muslim, the shoe bomber was a Muslim, the Orlando attack was Muslim, the Beltway snipers were Muslim, the Fort Hood shooter was Muslim, the underwear bomber was a Muslim, the Westminster attack was Muslim, the 2005 Bali bombings were Muslim, the murder of Lee Rigby was Muslim, the USS Cole bombers were Muslim, the London Bridge attack was Muslim, the Madrid train bombers were Muslim. The Charlie Hebdo attacks were Muslim. The San Bernardo attacks were Muslim. The Davao, Philippines attack were Muslims. The 2018 Surabaya bombings were Muslims. The Minnesota mall stabbings were Muslim. The London subway bombers were Muslim. The Moscow theatre attackers were Muslim. The Boston Marathon bombers were Muslim. The Ankara airport Turkey attacks were Muslim. The Manchester Arena bombing was a Muslim. The Pan Am Flight 103 bombers were Muslim. The Iranian embassy takeover was a Muslim. The France Entebbe hijackers were Muslim. The 2002 Bali nightclub bombers were Muslim. The Beta Mina Pakistan attacks were Muslims. The Beirut US embassy bombers were Muslims. The Libyan US embassy attacks were Muslims. The Yazidi Sinjar massacre of 2014 were Muslims. The beheading of the French priest were Muslims. The Buenos Aires suicide bombers were Muslims. The Israeli Olympic team attackers were Muslims. The Kenya US embassy bombers were Muslims. The Saudi Kobar Towers bombers were Muslims. The Beirut Marine barracks bombers were Muslims. The Bassein Russian school attackers were Muslims. The First World Trade Center bombers were Muslims. The beheading of journalist Daniel Pearl was Muslims. The Achille Lauro cruise ship hijackers were Muslims. The Bombay and Mumbai Indian attackers were Muslims. The September 11th, 2001 airline hijackers were, guess what? Muslims. I don't know about you, but I reckon I've spotted a pattern there. I reckon I'm really onto something. I reckon I've spotted a pattern. And if you haven't, you're a fucking moron.